Hey, what up, everyone? Welcome to a Love Like That podcast. I'm Brandon,
I'm Jacqueline.
and we are back. The 2024 edition of a Love
Yes, guys.
Like That.
It's been a minute.
Yeah, listen, we took a little break, but we are back. Listen, the holiday season was a lot for us,
Yes.
so let us go ahead and officially just be late with everything and say
Yes. All
Merry
of the
Christmas.
salutations. Yes.
Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy
Mm-hmm.
Kwanzaa, Feliz Navidad,
Yes.
Happy Festivus for the rest of us,
Mm-hmm.
Happy New Year, Happy Dr. King holiday, all of that.
Yes. Yes.
And now that we've gotten that out the way, now we are in the month of February, and now we're ready for Black
February.
History Month and Valentine's Day.
Yes, guys. Welcome to the Love Month. I know you've been here for a few days, but it's a new day because we're here with you guys. So we're excited to be back. Audio edition exclusive.
Yeah.
Thank you to all of our listeners who who tune in, guys. Continue to tune in. Continue to come on this journey with us. We are called. We are here for a reason. We are here to help. That's it. That's my spiel, guys. I just, I had to get it all off my chest.
What she said. Hey, listen, I think, over the past few months, obviously, we were recovering from the holiday season, and really just January was just a month just to kind of just get ourselves kind of back into the swing of things.
Yes,
And
and
that was
setting
important.
new habits and
Yeah.
new just swing of
And we
things.
got a chance to get away for the weekend, had a chance to do our
We
couples,
did.
our
Very
couples
much
retreat.
needed, guys. I want every couple who is listening to this interview and will listen to this interview in the future, guys, making sure that you reserve time for just you and your couple. I'm sorry, not you and your couple. You and your significant other, you and your spouse to just get away and be like to pour into nothing else but each other is so
Yeah.
necessary.
Very,
As
very,
many
very.
times a year as possible, guys. As many times as hey, everybody's situation is different, but just do it as often as you can. Set, hey, this is the objective and the number that I want to hit. This is important to me, and make it happen. Like, it can be on whatever scale you want it to be. It just needs to be intentional. We have had some of the best staycations where we didn't even leave the state,
Yeah.
or the city, really. But really just made intentional time for each other, and, just pouring into a newness. Like, every day is a new opportunity. So we are always grateful to make space and make time for each other.
Everything that she said plus a million more.
Yes.
So it's important. So yeah, so like I said, we did a lot of catching up from that perspective, and we were just able to just focus on Brandon and Jacqueline and getting a chance to uh, appreciate each other and what we bring to the table collectively and individually uh, for what is that we do within our marriage. So that was really good. I will say this going into this new year, well, which we're already into the year pretty strong already. I see a lot happening with relationships, with marriages,
Yes.
and I see make or break moments happening
Mm-hmm.
within a lot of you know you know relationships.
Mm.
And I think this is going to be the year that's really going to show people what they're made of,
Yeah.
who they really are. It's going to reveal who you really are in your
Yes.
relationship. For a lot, a lot of couples, and so um, and not even in a negative way, but just in a positive way.
Yeah.
You know,
That revelation of just showing who you are is going to get you moving in one direction or the other. And I think the objective for 2024 and beyond, like, if you feel like you're stuck, get unstuck.
hmm
Like, if this situation is feeling uncomfortable to you, then make the necessary steps to make it comfortable. Like you have to get moving in order to get any type of motion. Period, point blank. If we say we're tired of this, we're tired of that, we don't want to be in this, then be the change that you want to see, guys. It really is that simple. We can't continue to stand back, point the finger and say, well, you go first, or this is your issue, or none of that. Like it really doesn't solve or accomplish anything, guys.
Yeah.
So
And what you said is 1,000% correct. I want to go ahead and get into something that I know, which was the main discussion of today's podcast, and something that you had discussed before. Because we focused a lot on, how to tweak certain things in a marriage, how to, maintain a happiness in a marriage. And really, these are for people who are, solid, or for people who are looking to work on their marriage that may not necessarily
mhm.
be as solid. But where do the happy people go? Because
Somebody let me know.
the unhappy people are the loudest, and so it's like
Yes,
what
yes.
happens to the people who actually are happily married?
I mean, guys, can somebody send me the flyer?
Where do
I
the
want to
happy
come.
people go to stay? Where do the happy people go to be happy instead of having to feel like they can't be happy because everybody else is?
Y'all, listen, it's a real thing. Where is the happy people conference? That's what we want. Seriously, because it really is when you look around and you genuinely are happily married, not to say it's perfect, but making intentional efforts every day
Not
to
easily married, but happily
exactly,
married.
not easily at all. It takes a lot of work, but making the necessary choices and really just crafting something just so beautiful and so just unlike anything, just a true partnership with each other. Like clearly it takes work, but once you have set your mind on, making certain decisions and choices and um living a certain way, it gets easier. It gets easier. But we often, hear about all of the wrong things. We hear about all of the not so pretty sides of marriage. So for yeah, where do the happy people go?
And that's the $1 million question. So we saw a video, and I can't find the video now to save my life at this moment. But if we find it, we'll make sure to post it up online. But a woman who was talking about, basically, I'm not going to dim my light, my happiness in my marriage because other people are not happy in theirs.
Yes, yes, yes.
And that really, I know that inspired you, babe, to
Yes,
talk about that.
absolutely. No, 100%, guys, because what I feel like just the world and maybe people around us, like you dim your light. You drown out some of that, even in everything that you see. You try to be sensitive to people around you, and everybody's marriage is at different points and stages, but really just hey, this is how I feel. This is my reality. This is what it is. This is us. So really just aligning with those people who really truly feel the same way, guys. I feel like all you need is love. What the world needs now and always is love. If all of these people who were responsible for these wars and things of that sort were feeling the love and the sparkles and the sprinkles in their heart, there would be no more war, guys.
The
If
sparkles and the
everybody
sprinkles.
was able to lean into that aspect, we just all would be a little bit happier, guys.
Yeah, I'll say this though. I think for me, I'll just speak for me. I don't want to speak for you. I feel pretty confident in what you could say, but I don't. I'm gonna let you
Okay, well,
speak for
thanks
yourself
for
on
that. I
certain things,
appreciate
though.
that.
But I'll say for me, I mean, I thank God the fact that I feel that we have a very solid foundation. I think that we have
Yeah.
been very intentional with our marriage, that we've been able to really, you know, do things in a way that has benefited us. I think what happens is, yeah, we see the people who are hurt. are struggling, and
Mhm.
when you see them struggling and whatever, or you see people that are not in a good place, they're in a not so good place. Uh, it's like, okay, how are you? After they give you their story, and it's like, anyway, how you doing? It's like,
Right.
yeah,
How am I supposed
well,
to,
hey,
right.
day by day.
Right, exactly. Exactly what you're saying.
It's not, yo, like, man, I love my wife, man. Yo, like, we good over here.
Yeah.
It's great, man. Listen, last night we had a blast, man. Whatever.
Yeah.
It's like you don't want to. It's like, hey,
Right. You don't
day
want
day by day. The Lord is blessing.
exactly. Exactly. Dimming your light because the world is just, it is not well according to the world out here in Maryland, or it is well. And like we have talked about before,
Only
the
the negative
married
ones are.
people are just quiet,
Yeah.
guys. They're just quiet. But it really, it's important because we can change the narrative. It's important because if the people speak up, you see, for all of these singles and all of these people coming up that like it's it's a serious place to be, but it's not like a super scary place. Like there are if you choose, if you take your time and choose, put some real effort into choosing because you're choosing someone that you want to spend the rest of your life with, like you're serious about your vows, like you pour into each other, you are filling up each other's cup, guys. It is a place like none other. It truly is. There aren't enough words to truly describe what being in harmony with another person
And sometimes
truly
it takes.
feels like.
Yeah.
And it takes time, it takes
It takes intentional effort to actually get. You have to go through the
absolutely
ugly to get to the good part. And
intentional
sometimes people don't want to go through that
effort.
because it hurts too much, or they think it hurts too
Exactly. We
much.
have had some very hard conversations. We've had some we we have been playing this game since for
Ever.
forever. For more than uh over half our lives. I mean, truly. We have seen each other through a lot of seasons and phases of a life. So, truly trusting in um my partner and trusting in what
Trusting in
we
the work.
exactly trusting in the work, not just tripping over those same lessons year after year after year, at some point just stopping and saying like, hey, we keep coming back to this. Like, okay, let's really put it all out on the table and address it so we don't have to address this aspect again. Like there's always going to be trials and tribulations and things will come, in just terms of arguments, disagreements, things of that sort. It's not going to be hunky dory all day every day. But really, it really is about how you approach those things, period, point blank. So just making sure that you are doing the intentional work through the years. The work doesn't stop. It's not a, all right, we're going to kick up and coast now and get comfortable and be like, hey, we're at a good place. We're always striving
Mm-hmm.
to do more, to be more. Like, as long as you're here, you're still able to learn, you're still able to grow. And so that's what we have come together to do. And that is what we want to help establish and pour into other people. It's truly, truly, truly our passion.
And it's part of the process of trust building.
Mm,
And trust building means having to be open, having to be vulnerable.
hmm
Leads us to the next topic or discussion that we want to talk about. Shaquille O'Neal talked about on the podcast about how he would never allow himself to be vulnerable, to show his vulnerability
mm,
to a woman.
mm.
And he said because the moment that you guys have an argument, she's gonna throw it back in your face and basically, use it to hurt you.
Yeah.
And I I understand why he says that. He's wrong, kind of, but I understand why he says that. I think you just have to. It has to be with the right person. You don't
Exactly. That's
you
it.
don't just you're not just vulnerable with just any old body.
Right.
You have to be mindful. I mean, like if this is a we're just having fun type of girl that you're dating or a guy that you're dating, yeah, you may not necessarily be as open with your feelings and your emotions. If you see that feelings and emotions are starting to develop, or that you guys have decided to be serious, or if you're already married, yeah, that's your entire spouse over there.
Right.
I'll be a whole fool not to be vulnerable with you, as my wife.
Right.
You're the person who I've chosen to do life with.
Right.
And,
Correct.
if you can
Correct.
be open and transparent and vulnerable with anybody, I'm choosing to be that with you. And that's
Yeah.
what love is, though, man. Love is me understanding that I'm giving my heart to you and hoping that you don't crush it.
Yes, that's the part. And hoping that you don't crush it,
And
guys.
trusting you enough that you will take care of my heart.
Yes. With
Be-
care, babe.
Yeah,
And I hope
because if
it's
if
with.
if if you can't be, thank you. If you can't be, so it means I gotta be all callous and hard and rough and tough like my
Right.
entire time. I can't. And my
I'm
place
too
and my
much.
and my place of refuge and my place of
Right.
relaxation, my house, my home. I have to be on guard at my
That's right.
house.
When are you ever
At my
safe?
house.
Mm,
When am I ever safe to just be me? Yeah,
mm.
that's ridiculous.
That's a tragic
Now,
state of
I
affairs,
I
guys.
probably wouldn't necessarily be as bold to say that like that in front of Shaquille O'Neal. He's 7'1" and 300 something pounds. But
Of course.
I mean, just saying he's tall. But I would challenge him to that though. Seriously, I
Yeah.
would I would I would have a conversation with him if I actually did see him face to face. I would say, I understand why you say that. I would respectfully disagree,
Yeah.
only on this
But that
perspective.
speaks to his experience,
Experience.
period, point blank. And I know, he was married for a length of time.
Yeah.
Like, so, but that speaks to his experience. He never got to that point. And I know, that there's the other trials and tribulations he deals with as a celebrity and,
Hmm.
things, et cetera, et cetera. But if you find that person who you really trust to that extent and hey, this is it, this
Yeah.
is my heart,
Yeah.
this is everything I have, like, don't, like, be fragile with me,
Yeah.
like, handle it with care.
You have to. You
Yeah.
have to. Well, but though, watch where I'm going with this. Watch where I'm going with this, and then watch where I go after this. So, yeah, but he's projecting his past situations,
For
onto
future.
for onto other people or for future situations, just like another person did. So, uh, the trailer for a new two-part documentary about Wendy Williams came out the other day.
Oh yeah.
And um it's really interesting. I think, a lot of people are going to watch it because obviously Wendy Williams has been um you know I remember her from back when, when she was on WBLS. She had the morning she would do the shows, and Charlemagne the God was on there too, and she was, doing all the dirt and all the, the gossip and whatnot. And had her talk show and talking, deli gospel, whatever the case is. And obviously she's had health issues that's happened, but she's also had a lot of bad experiences with love.
Mm,
And her husband, was dating somebody else, took the money, all this other stuff, and was trying to suck her dry for all of her money and wealth and whatnot. And it's just interesting, what happens with people. So I brought up that to say this, and I know I'm probably a bad person for saying this though. I was watching the trailer for this documentary. And in the back of my head, I said, isn't it interesting how all this happened with her after she went after Tabitha Brown, and Tabitha Brown
uh,
gave her that prayer,
she came from a girl
that
tab.
night that nicety prayer,
Get it together, tab.
that I love you with the love of the Lord, but you're gonna get these
With
hands
the Lord
prayer.
of the love
after
of the Lord.
after Tabitha Brown's prayer, it ain't been right for Wendy Williams ever since.
Listen, because you don't come after Tab.
Right.
Listen.
Because she came at the Tabitha Brown because Tabitha Brown
Right. Oh my God.
decided to
She
retire
didn't
her husband,
understand.
and Wendy projected her her
Very true.
negativity in her
Yes, her
marriage.
negativity of her
It wasn't
marriage.
even shade at that point. It wasn't even shade. It was like real, just negativity,
Yeah, it definitely was
pure
negativity.
negativity.
Absolutely.
Um, and I was showing it to Jackie. I was showing it to you in the video how
Yes.
Wendy was just going on and on about yeah, I've had that type of marriage before. Try to take care of this whatever,
Right.
and then your man leaves you high and dry. I see them.
For a
Yeah, I see them
second.
being shaky. I see them being shaky in the next couple of
Right.
years. All this other stuff. I mean, really, like just trying to speak negativity and death over
Spewing
their marriage. It's yeah.
toxicity.
And Tabitha Brown gathered her so well. And it's like I said, it's all on the internet. You guys can see it.
Y'all check that
But
out.
um, but it's projecting those fears. So I said
Yes.
all that about Shaquille O'Neal. Said all that about Wendy Williams. Who it's funny because both of them are from New Jersey. Um,
Mm.
nothing nothing disparaging about my Jersey people. Um, with respect, all disrespect. But yeah, I think it's just as for people who have had those situations. Listen, you know, what's happened in your situation, that's keep that keep if anybody keeps something to themselves, it's not the happily married people that need to keep stuff to themselves. It's the people who've had bitter divorces, bitter situations. They need to keep some of that stuff to themselves, I think. Or
Mhm.
until they have o- officially and properly processed it.
Mhm.
That way they can talk about it from a healthy perspective.
Correct.
It's because it's always the ones who are, it's the people who are complaining about the marriage, who are in that marriage or complaining about the marriage that they're currently in. They're the loudest. The ones who have been wrong that talk about it, the loudest, and everything else in between. They're the ones who talk the most about it,
Mhm.
and they're the ones who are really fueling the negativity, and it's affecting those single people who are out there
Exactly.
looking for love, that want to find
Yes.
better, want to have better,
Yes.
but then they go in it with their guard up because it happened to that person.
Yep.
Oh, I can't trust that man because he might do this to me because look what Wendy Williams said.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't trust this woman because these chicks ain't loyal
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
because that's what Shaquille O'Neal said.
Yeah.
So it is you have to be careful with what you're saying out there. But then also, you know what it is for individuals. Period. This is just in life. I mean, we're talking about relationships, but just in life, you have to be careful about what you choose to receive into your ears.
Yeah.
And even if you can't control everything that comes into your ears, or what you see or hear or read or whatever the case is, you just have to be able to discern. Is this, if this is something that I want to be a part of my life? If it's not, then yeah, I need to remove myself from that. Or to see, that's them. That has nothing to do with me.
Yeah.
That's their situation, not my situation.
Exactly.
You have to know how to protect your spirit.
Yeah,
You
no,
know,
definitely protect your spirit.
you have to
Like
protect
those
your
things
spirit.
that don't feel right, remove them. Definitely. And the things that just kind of take hold of you in a positive way, or the things that kind of sit with you in a positive way. Cling to those things. Definitely, because it is all of those couples who are out here leaving bad reviews for marriage.
Right.
Goodness gracious. But
I
guys,
give
I
it
am
one
here
star.
to tell you,
We give it 5 stars.
would recommend 5 stars, 5 stars, 5 stars, 5 stars, 5 stars.
Yeah, man. And it's still work though. Here's the thing: anything worth having is going to be worth putting into work,
Exactly.
and that's really what it is. And just having the understanding and belief and the hope and the faith that that you guys will, you and your spouse are able to really make the changes, or elevate yourselves to become the people that you need to become for each other.
Yes.
And that's what it is. Not just for yourself, but for each other,
For
because
each
it's no longer about you. It's no longer about your
mm,
needs. It's about their needs and how can you be the best person for them. And that's how you understand. That's how you guys end up actually working together, because as much as you're working on trying to be a better person for them, they're trying to be a better person for you. And
yes.
then that's where you really see the real change and the real shift happen though.
Yes.
So that's important. Um so yeah. Be mindful about what you're listening to. And that's for people who are even in bad marriages currently. Be mindful, change what you're listening to. If you're listening to all these podcasts that talk about, man ain't this, woman ain't that, whatever, guess what? You're going to continue in that same
Mm-hmm.
energy. You have to shift the energy. You have to shift the energy.
Shift the energy, guys. So that means that's telling me that you need to tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to tell three more friends to tune into a Love Like That podcast, guys. We're out here trying to save the world, taking one couple back at a time, guys. It's up to you. You are the change.
Yeah. And that's important, babe. And so I think, with everything that we're trying to do,
Yes.
we are doing the work right now. It's not that we want to do the work. We are doing the work.
We are doing the
Because
work.
we've been doing this for a couple of years now, and
Yeah.
it's been a positive experience. But yeah, that's what it is. So it's about shifting, making that intentional shift, and that's part of the thing that we talked about for the happily married couples, making that positive shift. So hey, listen, share the love, share the
Mhm.
the good news about what it is,
The
because
good
people need to be able to
news.
see what you do, because that's going to help inspire people, just like how these
Mm.
other people talk about the issues that they have going on, and it affects or inspires these other people out here. It's the same thing with yours. You need to be inspiring others with your story.
That's
And
right.
so that's important, on all facets of the relationship scale.
Yes,
And it's
exactly.
very
You
important.
are doing your part, guys, by sharing your positive reviews.
It is. Now, I will say, and if the funny thing is, though, what you'll have realized, though, is that the more that you put the work into the marriage, the more you're gonna find stuff funny eventually. You will. I look at
What's your funny, baby?
my funny is you.
What's
You're
funny?
you, because it's I can't. Every day is something new. It is. And my wife, for those who don't know, my wife is I'm a very I'm an extrovert person. I'm low key, but I'm an extrovert. But I know I really am. But my wife is such she's such an extreme outgoing person that it makes me look like I'm just like a monk or something. And I'm just like, wow, I never thought I would have seen anybody that could do that. So, because she's so extra,
That's
I've learned
hilarious.
how to navigate the extraness that is
Mm,
Jacqueline. And it's
the
funny though.
Jacqueline
So yeah, I
experience.
have about a good 2 3 laughs, because I'm like, what
One
the heck is happening here?
subscriber,
Yeah.
Brandon James.
Yeah, so the whole government. Okay.
I'm so
Hey,
sorry. We're gonna have to go back and edit that part out. I got a little
listen.
taken away, carried
I
away.
listen. I ain't out here doing nothing wrong,
That's
so I
right.
ain't got nothing to worry about. But yeah, that's the thing. It's like, wow, what is she not gonna do today?
That's right.
It's just it's wild. It's just interesting to me. So I find it funny in that, though. So she just does a
Yes.
lot, and she can be very dramatic and over the top in her comings and goings. And
Yes.
so, I wouldn't have been able to experience that if I had not tried to put in the work of trying to understand her more, trying to see her, not just seeing her just because she's physically in front of me, but to see her,
Thank
see
you,
her
baby.
heart, see her mind, see her spirit. And so I know how to navigate her, how to appreciate her, how to read her, how to, all those different things, and every day is something new. I'm still learning her. So
Yes.
the education never
I like to
ends.
keep them guessing.
Trust me, she keeps me guessing at times, and it's just like, okay, add to note,
Note to self.
note to self, we're now doing this. Okay, we weren't
Listen,
doing that 5 years ago.
I'm telling you, to this point in life, babe, you have just made me feel so free to be me, just and lean into all parts, just showing up authentically as exactly who I am. You have made the space safe just to, this is me in all of my glory. Here I am. Here I am. Yes, here I
Yeah,
am. Sign,
sealed and
sealed,
delivered.
and delivered.
She's mine.
For you, babe.
It's,
Only for you.
yeah.
Exclusive membership of one.
So
With all of the privileges and benefits of membership.
this is what I'm talking about with the extras. Exhibit A.
Listen, guys, I just have to show up authentically as myself
So yeah, so I think
all
by
day.
putting in the work has allowed for us to get to this point
Yes,
where we can have
absolutely.
that. So
Definitely.
we weren't able to do that early on in the marriage, but we were able to eventually work towards that, and so that was important for you and I.
Yes. And it's just allowed us to build just such a space between us, such a level of, I know that I am extra, and I like to keep myself guessing sometimes. I don't, that used to always be my thing. I got bored easily, so
Yeah.
I I like to keep myself guessing and those around me as well. But just we've been able to really kind of create just such a beautiful space, babe. I couldn't have imagined, you go with my just off the wall ideas, guys. We're doing the audio only, but we are broadcasting from such a magical place.
Yeah.
And if his wife wasn't so extra, it would be a totally different thing. But we got the disco ball in here, guys. The candles,
Candles, lights, the
the
whole thing.
lights. It's a whole,
It's a pillow.
vibe. Pillows. It's a whole vibe. But that's I yes, I love these type of atmospheres. So regardless of what's what, I am going to make and set the atmosphere that's just it's what I need. It's what I need. And so
Yeah. And just knowing what your spouse
I hope you
needs is
get to
important.
enjoy it as well, babe.
Oh no, of course I do. But yeah, just knowing what your spouse needs is
Yes.
important because that's what allows you to keep moving forward in the right direction, in the positive direction, with the right energy.
Yes.
Because that's really what it is. With the right energy, with the right mindset, with the right blessings over your marriage, over your life as well.
Mm,
So that, which is what we hope and pray that for you guys as well, that that you all are making the right decisions to really be intentional, to listen to the right things, not to the wrong
yes.
things, not don't listen to the things that are just sensationalized online
Hmm.
about marriage is this, marriage is that. It's it's about the right things that are actually going to be
Yeah.
positive aspects of marriage that you guys need to focus
Yes.
on, because whatever you focus on, it expands. So we're going to focus
Mm,
and give our attention to the things that are going to help benefit us, uh, help benefit us as individuals, as couples, as married couples.
yes.
And those are going to be the real changes that we're going to need in this world today. So
Yes.
just wanted to share
Marriage
that
is
part with you.
what you make it, guys.
Yep.
What you make it. You have all the power. We let things like ego and, pride and past situations and just unclear direction forward hold us back. But really, if we put it on the table and say, hey, this is what I need from you, and I can answer and say, this is what I need, like vice
Yeah.
versa. If we can have those type of conversations, if we can charter a path forward, if we can realize and look at our own behaviors and say, hey, you know what? I understand what you're saying and I was wrong. Like we can take accountability
Mhm.
for our own behavior and understand, like when we're looking in the mirror, we're trying to be the best version of ourselves for us and for like it's I mean, how can how can we not be unstoppable, guys, if we are doing all of those things? So that's what I mean. Marriage is what you make it. If you want to go on a picnic today and it's cold outside, get that blanket out and put it on your living room floor.
Yeah.
Right?
Be
Create
creative.
it. Exactly. Pull up something on YouTube, get yourself a backdrop. There's your picnic. You
Right.
can literally do what it is that you want to
Girl,
do,
where you go?
guys.
Last night we went to Paris.
Absolutely, absolutely. I am
That's funny.
for all of it, but it is
Yeah.
what you make it.
Yeah.
And truly putting God at the center of your marriage, God just amplifies it to just heights and visions that you could have never accomplished on your own, guys. So please, please don't forget that. That is a major part,
Yeah.
and a major new aspect of intimacy.
Yeah. It all the way adds up and makes the world a difference
Yeah.
in a marriage. And then also, the accountability aspect of it, of course. You know, especially uh, for us as, you know, I would say, I think, you know, for women, it can be easier. I think for men, it's a bit more of a challenge. But, you know, once you do understand how to take accountability for yourself and for what goes on in your marriage, it helps give you more control uh, over, you know, how you will shift or pivot
Mm,
to get to a better place in your marriage once you take the accountability of it.
yeah,
So,
exactly.
you know, that's really a good one right there that I always like to tell fellas.
You
And
see things.
I'll say this part in closing here before we close this out. Um, from the accountability aspect. For men, this is for the fellas, okay? If you find yourself in a situation, and I talked about this the other day, find yourself in a situation where it's just like, you know, you guys are butting heads all the time and she seems to be really giving you a hard time. I mean, like really giving you the business about something. I mean, she's just not letting it up or whatever. And it's like, yo, like, you know, something's out of whack here. Take the time to just, you know, as weird as this sounds, take responsibility for it. You know, if you guys are having an argument or whatever, you know what, babe, you know, this is my fault. You know, I take full responsibility for what's happening here. This is on me. You know, I take responsibility because you know, I should have never allowed for you to get to this point of feeling how you feel, or saying what you just said, or doing what you did. I should have gotten that taken care of way before.
Mm,
What do I need to do to make sure? What do I need to do for you to make sure that you are never in this situation again? That you're not feeling this way again. That you don't say these things. That you don't do these things. Whatever the case is. What is it that you need? And what you'll find out is that one of two things. One, she'll finally tell you what really is going on. And then you guys can actually have a real conversation instead of like, you know, the conversation about something else because, you know, it seems to be that women will make anything out to be something and it's related to something else. And men, we're like, huh, how did we get here?
that's why everything connects for
Yeah. And
us.
that's like, it's silly to me, but that's what it is. So, but you saying what do you need from me in order to make sure that we never get to this point? If there really is something your woman is going to tell you,
Yes, guys, and it
she
really
will tell you.
works. It really works.
Or or she'll realize if she doesn't have anything to say, if there is no issue for her to say, then she's going to realize that maybe she's just being a little bit over the top, a little overly emotional for no
Yeah,
reason. Because sometimes that can happen too. Sometimes, you know what?
absolutely.
Sometimes our wives are tripping because, you know,
Hmm.
it's just it just is what it is, or they're tripping because, you know, you really did do something. And that's just what it is there. But either way, take accountability because it allows her to finally speak her mind or to reveal that maybe, you know what, I'm taking this further than what it needs to
Right.
go.
Maybe I'm tripping at the moment, guys. And it really does work because I remember when he did that to me. And I can't even remember what it was that I was so like gun ho in. But it stopped me in my tracks, guys. I was shooketh.
Not
I was
shooketh.
shooketh. But really, it did. It was just kind of like, wow, it made me stop and it made me really kind of evaluate some things uh, to really be able to move forward. So definitely what you're saying, babe,
Yeah.
is
But then
100%.
also because you know what though? It allows for you to be seen and it allows for you to be heard.
Yeah,
Because I'm
definitely.
asking, what is it you need? What is it you want? That way you can be heard. That way that way I'm not ignoring you. And at the same time, uh, if it is something that is not of my control, it then gives you the power of accountability for yourself, to reveal to you what it is that you can be held accountable for. And
Mm-hmm.
then we make the correct movements or changes in moving forward. Like I said, but that's happened too much. Like I say, if there's really something that's going on, or whatever, 9 times out of 10, it's because you're there might be something that you need to just really tell me.
Yeah,
And then
absolutely.
I'll hear, I'm like,
Best
okay, you know what?
interest.
I did do that, or I didn't, whatever, but this is how she's feeling. Let me go ahead and get this thing fixed. You know, in this household, we're not worried about right or wrong. We're about fixed or not fixed.
Exactly.
Did it get
We want to
fixed?
move forward. And clearly it's vice versa. If I'm definitely the one who, I'm more of the emotional being and creature. So sometimes, things may affect me differently, but just having an open space to, if there's anything that's on your heart, your mind, you need, want, desire, that my door is always
Oh, thank you, babe. I appreciate it. That's why I married you, woman.
open.
Oh man, listen. I think this was a good episode right here. And thank you, babe, for always being here with me, for being, my
Thank you, babe.
my partner in this, and for allowing me to be
Yes.
your partner in this endeavor, because I know
Thank
this is a really this is a ministry and a mission
This
that is so important.
is,
So I think
yes, yes,
this is really good. This
the
was
double M's, guys.
yes, that's really what it
Ministry
is.
and mission coming to a continent near you, young guys.
Right,
Taking
all the
this
continents,
show. It's worldwide, baby.
all
We're
the continents.
worldwide. Doesn't matter where you are. Let's get to it, man. Let's get to the work of taking back our marriages, guys.
Amen.
It's a love like that. Check us out.
Yeah, and again, I'm Brandon.
I'm Jacqueline.
You've been listening to a Love Like That podcast. Listen, God bless. Take care. Peace.
Peace.